Hello once again. Good evening, America. Welcome back to the Kamikaze Games channel. And you know, it is that time once again for what was good about this weekend. Was there anything? Let's find out. Johnny Sauter went from winning the truck race in spectacular fashion to getting a top 10 in the Xfinity race in spectacular fashion. He was damn near in contention for a top 5. Hell, if he'd gotten that, if there was a late restart when he was in 4th place and they would have restarted at 4th, there's a good chance he could have contended for the win. I don't think he would have gotten past the 7 or the 1 if he'd gotten up there in the late stages, but it's a nice thought. All I'm trying to say here is that Johnny Sauter still got it. And if, you know, the whole Gallagher thing could have not worked out, he could have had a promising Xfinity sort of redux from when he was back there in 2002 to 2004. Unfortunately, Spencer's dad owns GMS. So we all know how this is going to end. My main man, Horton Forrester, Big KF, got himself a finish. Wasn't a great finish, and a lot of people had to wreck for him to get said finish, and he also had multiple speeding penalties throughout the race that relegated him 14 laps down, but he still finished the race. Which means that moving forward, he still has every truck that he started the season out with. Albeit they're from 2015, but it's still better than nothing. And the fact that he still has trucks at this point in the season, not a single caution flag unless you count the spin at Daytona. You know what? This is a good start for their season. Hopefully we see some more success out of All Out Motorsports. Hey, this is something that should have happened 5 times already this year, but Allgaier finally won a race. And Dash for Cash for that matter. It's about damn time. Sick and tired of waiting for Allgaier to win when he should have won well over 30 races in the Xfinity Series over the course of his career. Unfortunately, he sits at 6. Not a true testament to his talent. All the races got in despite there being rain threat for 2 of them. Now that's very interesting. We even did have that red flag in the Cup Series, but they managed to clean up the track and get the race done under green. That's pretty good stuff. We haven't had too much rain stupidity this year. There's been a bit, but not too much. If they had actually started the race an hour earlier like they did the Xfinity race, it probably wouldn't have even been impacted by rain at all. And I wonder how that race would have turned out. But unfortunately, we can't have nice things, and we must have a rain delay. Bowman led some laps, and then he finished 23rd. But what are you going to do? At least he proved that the Hendrick Motorsports engines, even he was able to hold off Larson the entire time. Larson was charging there a little bit, but then Larson fell off massively. And Bowman actually led about 26 laps. That's pretty good stuff. If anything, that doesn't really prove that Chevys are all that fast. All it does prove is that, well, clean air is God, for one thing, and number 2, a Hendrick car can hold the lead if it gets it, at least for some time. Another top 15 for Almirola. More of a deserved top 10, but he's still getting those points that he needs. And I looked at the standing sheet, and there's about a full race separating 10th from 11th and from 11th to 12th. Almirola's kind of on his own island right now. As long as he continues getting these 11th to 13th place finishes every week, he's a shoo-in for the chase. But I still think that he's got a good shot to win at places like Richmond and maybe even Kansas next week, where he should have won in 2012. Speaking of 2012 Kansas, you know who won that race that Almirola should have won? His name was Matt Kenseth, and he is back in a Cup car. What day is it? In like 6 days. No, 5 because the race is on Saturday. That's going to be some good stuff. I'm so excited to see what Matt Kenseth can do in the Roush cars. And speaking of Roush cars, Ricky Stenhouse looked competent last week. This is the kind of Ricky Stenhouse that I've been eagerly waiting to see from last year, where he's able to grind out good runs. He didn't get the finish that he deserved, but he was in the top 10 on merit for the vast majority of the Dover race. He even led some laps while he didn't pit to do it, but he still led a respectable, what, 10-15 laps there? If only the rain came a bit quicker and stayed, maybe we would be talking about Stenhouse and Victory Lane at Dover. Truex got a top 20! Hooray! It took having a tire go down in the race for it to happen, which pretty much took him out of contention. And then that whole thing where he didn't try at the end. But yes, Truex gets a top 20. Let's see what he can do next. Feels like 2014 when I have to be happy about Truex getting a top 20. For the first time since February, after a truck race, we can say that there's another truck race within the next 40 days. That's right, the Truck Series returns at Kansas, which means that we're actually going to be able to see 2 consecutive weeks of Truck Series racing. The best series in NASCAR is finally back, and it's back on a consistent schedule now. There's going to be a few weeks where you have to wait a couple of races in between, such as when they head off to Eldora and then Canadian Tire. There's going to be some big breaks in between there, but bare minimum, we got Truck Series racing on a fairly consistent basis, and I can't complain about that, even though it's mostly at 1.5 mile tracks. But the Truck Series is still great, regardless. Apparently there was a fight before qualifying in the Xfinity race last week. I don't think there's any known footage, but that's pretty funny, not gonna lie. I really wish we could see that fight take place because apparently a guy got his jaw broken. That doesn't sound like it feels so good, but I bet it would have been funny to watch regardless of how much pain he was in. Sucks to suck. In non-real life news, we got a lot of really interesting parts of NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup coming up the next few weeks. Especially the one that's going up today. And then another one in a few weeks, but you know them by the titles. You could probably tell by the titles. They're going to be interesting, to say the least. Yeah, that's all I got for what was good about this week at Dover. The races themselves, yeah, they were good except for the Cup race because the Cup Series has sucked ass this year. But the Trucks race and the Xfinity finish were great. But I already talked about that. I just thought that, you know, like we always do, well, have been doing for literally 1 week, may as well have made this video because there was a few things to discuss. Next week is at Kansas, though, like I said, and I doubt we'll have many good things to say about that, except for the Truck Series, because the Truck Series is always good. But in any case, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in whatever it is that you watch next on this channel, if you watch anything at all, because if you don't, I will hunt you down, and I will force you, I will tie you to a chair, and I will force you to binge watch the entire channel. And it's about 3,000 videos, so that's going to take a while, so you probably are going to need to, you're probably going to need to eat between that period, and I'm not going to supply you with any food, so unfortunately, you're just going to have to live with the fact that you're going to be tied to a chair watching the videos for the remainder of your life, which will probably be around a week at most, because I probably won't give you any drinks either. I don't know, I know, I'm not a great host, I'm working on it, I'm working on being a better host, but you know what, you gotta live and let live, and you gotta learn as you go along, but you know, I've drugged this out for way too long already, so I'm just gonna leave you now. See you next time. You dumbass geek, go fuck yourself. Okay, Diamond Reagan 101 / Gamer Diamond. It's clear I'm the geek here, and I will go fuck myself immediately. Alright. Well.